Next topic is the Tughlaq dynasty. Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, 1320 to 25 CE. Alauddin Khilji died in 1316. So when did Alauddin Khilji died? He died in the year 1316. His death was followed by a brief period of political unrest. So when he died, that that means Alauddin Khilji. So when the Alauddin Khilji died, there was a period of political unrest. That means all the different types of nobles and officers, they were trying to capture the throne so that they can rule the dynasty. In 1320, the last Khilji ruler Khusro Khan was killed by Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq. So the last Khilji ruler, he was Khusro Khan. It was killed by Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq. An able statesman and administrator, Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq lead the foundation of a new dynasty called the Tughlaq dynasty. So Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq was a very brave man, and he was a very strong person, and he knew how to run the empire. So he was the person who laid the foundation of Tughlaq dynasty in India. He believed that the state should be based on the support of the people. So his ideology was that the state, that means the empire, should be based on the support of the people. That means all the people should support the king so that they can run the empire in a better way. He carried out many works of public utility and built the famous Tughlaqabad fort in Delhi. So he played an important role, and he built a famous fort. The name of the fort is Tughlaqabad. It is in Delhi. He died in 1324 CE. So he died in the year 1324 CE. He was succeeded by his son Jona Khan, who assumed the name Muhammad bin Tughlaq after being the Sultan. So he after the Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, his son, the name of the son is Jona Khan, who assumed the title Muhammad bin Tughlaq when he ascended the throne. Muhammad bin Tughlaq, 1325 to 51 CE. Muhammad bin Tughlaq was a very learned man. So Muhammad bin Tughlaq was a very learned man. He was very educated person. He was well versed in Sanskrit, Arabic and Persian. So he knew all the different types of verses and different types of mantras of Sanskrit, Arabic and Persian. He also had a good command over religion, philosophy, science and literature. So as he was a learned person, so he knew different types of religion, policy of different religion, philosophy, science and literature. He tried to resolve dispute through secular measures. So in order to resolve the dispute means fighting among each other. If there is any dispute, he took the method that is secular measure. That means he will neither support any party. So whatever the result will be given by him, it will be not biased. That means no partiality will be done. He undertook numerous experimental projects. So he had made different types of projects. Despite being innovative, these projects failed since they lacked prudence. So though he was a very learned person, and he knew different types of religion, philosophy, science and literature, but whatever different types of architecture which he had started in his empire, that failed. Why? Because he don't know the basic concept how to make those different types of monuments. Muhammad bin Tughlaq's empire included southern states, present-day Odisha, Bengal and the Deccan. So these are the places which are under the Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Shortly after his accession to the throne, he decided to transfer the capital from Delhi to Devagiri, renamed Daulatabad in the Deccan. So once he ascended the throne, he decided to transfer the capital of his empire from Delhi to Devagiri, which was renamed as Daulatabad. Due to the central location of Devagiri, the Sultan thought it would enable him to exercise control through the country and protect the Sultanate against continuous Mughals attack. So as he had already transferred the capital from Delhi to Devagiri, once he transferred, he said he thought that the location in which Devagiri, that means Daulatabad, was present, it was not able to he was not able to rule the whole empire under his territory. So that's why he again changed his capital so that he can protect his empire from the Mongols attack. Historians think that he ordered not only the transfer of his court and officials but also the entire population. So he not only transfer only the court and different types of officials but also the entire population which were present in his empire. Extensive arrangements were made for the long journey that covered a distance of around 1500 kilometer. So as he transferred his capital, right, so the different types of arrangement should meet in a systematic way. That's why it had they have made an you can say innovative arrangement so that all the people, they do not face any problem while transferring their different types of things, maybe clothes, their cattles from one place to another. Temporary shelters were set up along the way and free food and drinks were supplied. So as they were moving from Delhi to Devagiri, as Muhammad bin Tughlaq had transferred the capital, when they were traveling from Delhi to Devagiri, different types of shelters were made where they can rest, and free food and drinks were supplied so that they do not face any problem while traveling. Nevertheless, many people did not survive the long and arduous journey, and the operation turned out to be a total failure. So, though he that means Muhammad bin Tughlaq had given different types of facilities such as food facilities, drink, shelters, but the journey was very long and many people, they died in the journey. So hence uh, the you can say the operation, that means to transfer the capital from Delhi to Devagiri, was failed. As his ministers, courtiers and soldiers were not keen to stay at the new location, Muhammad bin Tughlaq ordered to return to Delhi. So once they have reached the Devagiri, his different types of ministers, different soldiers and officers, they were not at all ready to live in the Devagiri. So again, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, he decided that it's better to move back again to Delhi. So again the capital was shifted from Devagiri to Delhi. Another daring experiment undertaken by Muhammad bin Tughlaq was the issuing of bronze and copper token currency. So another different experiment which Muhammad bin Tughlaq had done was he had issued the bronze and copper token currency. These measures aim to overcome the financial crisis owing to the drain on the royal treasury as a result of his scheme. So why he had issued the copper and bronze token currency? Because there was a shortage of royal treasury during his empire. So in order to increase his royal treasury, he had issued bronze and copper token currency. Such coins had the same value as the gold and silver coin known as tanka. So the silver and copper token currency were known as tanka, and both the coins had the same values as compared to the gold and silver coins. Peoples were encouraged to use them in their transactions. So the people were encouraged, or they were ordered to use the copper and bronze token currency in transaction, that means doing businesses. Soon new coins began to forge at an alarming rate, and all the token currency had been withdrawn from the market. So soon there was new coins were circulated in the market, and hence all the token currency had been withdrawn from the market. Muhammad bin Tughlaq also increased the land taxes in Ganga Yamuna Doab region in order to meet the expense of the army. So Muhammad bin Tughlaq, he had increased the land taxes, especially in the Ganga Yamuna Doab region. Why? Because he wanted to earn as much of money so that he can meet, or he can have enough money for the maintenance of the army. Unfortunately, these measures were taken at a time when the region was passing through a famine. So when he had taken these action, that means increase the land taxes, already his empire, or you can say Ganga Yamuna Doab region, was facing through famine. Famine means there was a shortage of food, there was a shortage of you can say water, all the place were destroyed. So the peasants of the region strongly opposed it. So as especially in the Ganga Yamuna Doab, there was a famine. That means there was no proper water supply, and as there was no proper water supply, the farmers were not able to do agriculture. So that's why the peasant, that means the farmers in the Ganga Yamuna Doab region, they opposed the increase in the land taxes which were done by the Muhammad bin Tughlaq. And this is a picture of Muhammad bin Tughlaq.